So, good morning, students. Today we are going to see about the software defined radio. In our yesterday's video, we have a clear vision about the cognitive radio. So, today we are going to a next step, that is cognitive radio. Cognitive radio is a platform for software defined radio. So, we need to discuss about the what is software defined radio and its advantages and disadvantages and also applications. So first, what is the concept of software defined radio, that is SDR? The concept of SDR. So the software defined radio is a single radio, so that may be configured with work on different bands, different frequencies, different technologies. So what is the concept of software defined radio means? It's a single radio. It's a can be worked with the configured on different bands, different technologies and different frequencies. So this configuration may be changed as per their need. Okay, so these are the configuration. This configuration can be changed as per their need. So this is the concept of software defined radio. So in software defined radio, the software can be able to change like security, modulation, processing, frequency, waveform. So these are the things the software in software defined radio the software can be able to change. Okay, what are the things means? Security, modulation, processing, frequency and waveform. These are the things the software can be able to change in the software defined radio. So next one is, so what is the role of software defined radio in telecom? So what is the main role of software defined radio, that is SDR in telecom means? So we already know the software defined radio is a radio. So it provides the software control over radio system functionality. So this is the main function in the telecom for SDR. So software defined radio is a radio. It provides the software control over radio system functionalities. So what such as the frequency, the modulation type and the transmitted power. So now SDR, that is software defined radio, is seen as an important technology, so to make the global roaming really happen. Okay, so it's considered as the important technology for making the global roaming that is really happen. So first we need to discuss about the history of SDR. What is the history of software defined radio? So first, the term the software defined radio, which was coined in 1991 by Joseph Mottola. Okay, so the software defined radio, that word which was given by Joseph Mottola in the year 1991. So he also published the first paper on the topic in 1992. Okay, the man Joseph Mottola. See, one of the first public software radio that initiated was US military project, that is Speakeasy. That's a Speakeasy radio. This is the first public software radio. Next, the primary goal of Speakeasy project. What is the goal of Speakeasy project? The primary goal of Speakeasy project is to use the programmable processing to emulate more than 10 existing military radios. So they it operating in the frequency bands of 2 and 2000 MHz. This is the history of the software defined radio. So what is the need? We know the need of cognitive radio. So here, what is the need of software defined radio? What is the main need? Why it is needed? So software defined radio it brings the flexibility, cost efficiency and power. These are the main things. It brings the flexibility, cost efficiency and power. So software driven radio that drive the communications forward with wide reaching benefits that is realized by the service providers and product developer through the end user. This is the need of software defined radio. So what is SDR platform? What does SDR platform means? Software defined radio is a radio communication system. We are already know about this. Software defined radio is a radio communication system. So the components that have been traditionally implemented in hardware, okay, the components like the components that are implemented in hardware, for example, mixer, filter, amplifiers, modulators, demodulators, detectors. So the components that have been implemented in the hardware, okay, so that are implemented by means of software on personal computer or the embedded system. So listen, so SDR is the radio communication system. So the components are implemented in hardware like examples mixer, filter, amplifier, modulator, demodulator and detectors. So that are implemented by means of software on personal computer or the embedded system. Okay, this is the software defined radio platform. So what is the future scope? So what is the future scope of software defined radio? So presently it is developed for defense purpose only. Okay, so software defined radio is presently developed for defense purpose. Okay, so the main reason why software defined radio came into pictures is that they want to develop their radio so they can communicate with each other in a irrespective frequency band limitation. This is the main concept. So main reason is the software defined radio came into pictures, so that one they want to develop their radios so that only they communicate with each other of irrespective frequency band limitations. So presently it is developed for defense purpose. Okay, so it can communicate with each other in a irrespective frequency band limitations. So it can be achieved by software defined radio. So it also eliminates the different kind of radio hardware for different RF bands. So for commercial purpose, software defined radio has a wide range of application which we use say in near future. Okay, it is used in also commercial purpose, so which we see in near future. So what are the advantages of software defined radio and disadvantages of software defined radio? So advantages of software defined radio is, first one is flexibility, next one is rapid prototyping, so next one is it can be updated so that device does not become obsolete. So it has ability to adapt to the requirements. So it reduce deployment costs. So that is cost efficiency. These are considered as the main advantages of software defined radio. So what are the disadvantages of software defined radio means? It limits on achievable RF performance. So it limits the RF performance. So in frequency coverage, so the hardware need to build some separate portions for particular frequency range. Okay, this is the considered as the main disadvantages. So next one is two-tone intermodulation distortion. So next, complexity is using the software. So software ability maybe define the overall reliability rather than hardware limitations. So these are the disadvantages of software defined radio. So what are the applications of software defined radio? Mainly it is used in military radio. Next, cellular service providers. Next application is competition grade HF transceivers. So next, all present and future modes can be demodulated or it is generated. So these are the applications of software defined radio.